Okay, so in this video, we're going to be talking about the multiplicative inverse. And that's a fancy way of saying that you're going to be multiplying by a number's reciprocal, and the result is going to be 1, right? So that's all that means. So if you have a number and you multiply by its reciprocal, the result will always be 1. And that will always be true. You can see the definition that I gave you here. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into these examples because it is pretty straightforward. And once you understand what it's asking, it's pretty easy, right? So the first example is 5 over 7. Well, what is the reciprocal of 5 over 7? Well, that's going to be 7 over 5. So we're going to go ahead and write 7 over 5. Okay, so 7 over 5. And now we have to multiply by 5 over 7. Okay, so we're going to multiply this by 5 over 7. And we can see here that, well, 7's going to cancel, right? And then 5 will cancel. And you're just left with 1, okay? So we're going to do the same thing here. So we have negative 1 over 4. And remember, the order in which you're multiplying does not matter, okay? I could multiply by the original number first and then multiply by the reciprocal. It will not matter. The order in which you multiply does not matter. And now here I'm going to have 4 over negative 1. So 4 over negative 1. And you can see the same exact thing is going to happen here. The 4's will cancel, the negative 1's will cancel, and you're left with 1, right? All right, and our last one. Now this 3 is really 3 over 1. So it's 3 over 1, okay? And the reciprocal of that is going to be 1 over 3. And you can see the setup that we have here. The 1's will cancel, the 3's will cancel. And again, we are going to be left with just 1. So we have 1 here. So that is essentially the multiplicative inverse. It's very straightforward. And so here's the next example. And you can see that they want us to simplify the expression first and then find the multiplicative inverse of the result. Okay? So what we want to do here is look at the expression. Are there any like terms we can combine? And when I look inside parentheses, I can see here and here, I can't combine any like terms, right? But you may have noticed that I have a 6x here and a negative 8x here. If you want to go ahead and combine those, you can. But what I think I'm going to do here, I'm going to go ahead and simplify this whole thing down, and then I'll just start combining like terms all at the end. All right, so in order to simplify this down, we have to take this 2, and we need to distribute inside. We're going to have to do the same thing with this 4. We're going to have to distribute inside. Okay, so go ahead and do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and simplify it down. So I'm going to do 2 times a negative 6 here. I get negative 12. And then I do 2 times a negative 3x. I get negative 6x. And now we're at this point here, so plus 6x. And now I'm going to take this 4, distribute, right? So I get plus 12, 4 times 3. And then I'll get positive 8x, and that comes from 4 times 2x, right? Okay, so now I'm here, negative 8x, and then plus 2. So this one works out real nice. You can see what will happen here, right? I have a negative 12 and a positive 12, that cancels out. A negative 6x, a positive 6x, that cancels out. Here I have an 8x and a negative 8x, that also cancels out. I'm left with 2. Now remember, that 2 is really over 1. So they want us to find the multiplicative inverse. We're simply going to multiply now by 1 over 2, which is the reciprocal, right? So 1 over 2. And you can see here that this is going to be equal to 1. So that one was a little bit more challenging, but the multiplicative inverse is extremely easy. It just means you're multiplying by the reciprocal and the result will always be 1. Okay, so if you found this video helpful, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe so you get more math videos in the future, and I'll see you in the next one.